Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing well and having a good beginning of February. I know that this video is a little bit late, but I wanted to briefly chat about the books that I read in January, and then also at the end of this video I'm going to chat about some other just monthly favorites that I've had or things that I've been enjoying in January, because to be honest, my reading month was underwhelming. Yeah, it was very underwhelming. But I do want to try and get into the habit of doing monthly wrap-ups and just catching you guys up with what I have read, even if I didn't really love anything that I read this month. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so this month I ended up reading 4 books. I DNF'd 2 additional books, and then I was halfway through another book that I was trying to finish before filming this wrap up, but it did not happen, and I was not going to put it off because February is a short month and I didn't want to upload this like closer to March than to January. Gilbert is joining us for this video, So let me start with my lowest rated book of the month, which was The Girls in the Snow, which is the first book in the Nikki Hunt series. This was a FBI thriller of sorts where an agent named Nikki Hunt is drawn back to her hometown when one of her cases that she's investigating for the FBI just happens to kind of like bring her there. There's a girl that turns up dead, and it's thought to be related to this serial killer called the Frost. Now, she also, when she was growing up, her family was like brutally killed in this murder, and so she's kind of drawn back into that story. And this case has become at the forefront of like media and true crime groups because they think that the wrong person is in jail for killing her family. I was really looking forward to this book. I think it had a lot of tropes that I was really excited about. The cold case, the like true crime aspect of it, I thought was kind of interesting. I don't tend to like FBI books as much as like small town detective vibes, but I thought that there would be some stuff in here that I enjoyed. I just found the characters very like one-dimensional. I found the story to be not super nuanced or like gripping to read. I just didn't really have a whole lot in the book that was driving me to read more. It just seemed very surface level, so I gave it 2 stars. The next book that I read this month was An Unwanted Guest by Sherry Lapina. I was really in the mood to read like wintry thrillers, and this seemed perfect for that. It is about a group of people that go to this like hotel in the middle of nowhere in the middle of winter in a snowstorm, and it's kind of like And Then There Were None kind of spoof because all the guests start dying, and they're basically trying to figure out like which is the bad one or what's going on. And I did find the atmosphere of this book really great. Like, I felt like I was in this hotel in the middle of nowhere. It felt very snowy. It felt very wintry, which I really, really enjoyed. However, I thought that the end of this book was pretty rushed. And a lot of the book, like building up to it, was really, really slow. And then all of a sudden we had this very dramatic reveal. I think for a wintry thriller, it did the trick, but it wasn't anything amazing or like anything super memorable, honestly. I think I gave it 2.5 or 3 stars. One of my DNFs this month was The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. This is a book about a group of friends that go to like a hunting lodge, and one of them gets killed. There wasn't anything about this book that I really hated, but I was reading it at a time where I just like wasn't in the mental space to enjoy it, and so I just didn't really get into it. There wasn't anything like terrible about it. I didn't hate it. Maybe I would pick it up again in the future, but it just like was wrong, like the wrong book at the wrong time for me. So I ended up DNFing about halfway through. I honestly don't have many other thoughts other than that. I preferred the beginning of the guest list than I did the hunting hunting party. Is it called the hunting party? The hunting lodge? I don't remember. So very like average. It was like between a 2 and a 3 stars for the part that I read, but I did not finish it. I also started No Exit by Taylor Adams, I think. This is about a college aged female who is going back to her hometown because her mother has unexpectedly gotten very sick, and she is driving through the mountains in her car to get home, and she realizes she's not going to be able to get there because the roads are so terrible. So she stops at a rest stop and discovers that in the back of one of the vehicles at the rest stop is a child, and she's trying to figure out, like, from the people at the rest stop, like, what happened. And again, similar situation where I was kind of like in a funk when I read it, so I started it, and there wasn't anything bad about it. I was actually pretty gripped when I was reading it, but I just like fell out of interest a little bit and didn't have the motivation to pick it up again. So I would say it was between like a 3 and a 4 stars. I enjoyed the writing. I thought it was very quick. The chapters were quick, which I enjoyed. So the writing style really kept me gripped, and I wanted to read the next chapter. But at the time that I read it was just not the right time for me, so I ended up DNFing it. All right, next up are 2 books that I recently read in a new vlog. So I'm going to direct you guys there to get more of my updated thoughts. But I read In My Dreams, I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead, which is a college campus murder mystery about a group of friends, and one of the people in the group, Heather, is killed, and it's kind of told in 2 time points. One where they're at the campus and they're kind of like meeting each other, and you're unfolding like the events surrounding Heather's death, and then also in one of the characters in the future is coming back to the campus for like a homecoming alumni thing. And she kind of wants to like redefine herself. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it had like that college campus kind of Ivy League vibe that I really, really enjoy reading about. I thought that the group of friends and the dynamics were interesting, but I thought that the dialogue was a little bit lacking for me. And specifically, I think that it was more like dialogue focused than atmosphere focused, and my favorite thrillers tend to be more atmosphere driven. So I just like wish that the balance was a little bit different and it had come together a little differently. But it was a good story. The ending was a bit predictable too for me, so it just didn't blow me away, but it was fine. I think I gave it 3 stars. Then I read A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. This is a story about a psychiatrist who is about to get married, and she has a very twisted path because she, growing up, her father was convicted of murdering 6 teenage girls, and she's tried to like move on from that. She's getting married to this new guy, and she is kind of moving on. But when she comes back to her hometown to plan her wedding, teenage girls start going missing again, and so it calls into question this entire past investigation. This one was more atmosphere focused, so it definitely fit that a bit better for me. It takes place in this small southern town, so I really felt that I was there. I did enjoy that there was some mental health representation in this book, but the ending for me was super, super predictable. I think before I even picked up this book, I had a prediction of who it was going to be, and it ended up being that person, and so I just wasn't blown away by the ending. But it was a fun ride, and it was a very quick read, so I gave this one a 3.5 stars. All right, and the book that I am halfway through right now is Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. This is the only non-thriller that I started in January. This is about 2 friends, Alice and Eileen, and they are both in kind of difficult romantic situations. So Alice is a famous novelist, and she meets this man named Felix at a party, and they kind of start a romance where they travel together to Rome, and they have a bit of like a whirlwind relationship. And then we also have Eileen, who has always had a crush on this guy named Simon, who she grew up with, and after getting out of a breakup, she kind of reconnects with him. And it's a very on-brand book for Sally Rooney, where both of these relationships have a lot of communication issues and have a lot of trust issues, and you're like rooting for them to get together, but you're also like so unbelievably frustrated by how the characters like deal with certain situations. This book is really interesting because it does have kind of some like chapters which are more philosophical, and also some chapters that discuss current events in kind of an interesting light. So I think it's a interesting balance of like character dynamics, but also just kind of like broader ideas, which I really enjoy. I just kind of got out of reading it, and now I'm having to get back into the characters and get back into the story. But where is that? I think it was around like a 4 stars. All right, so that is everything that I read in January. I wanted to chat through a couple of things that I've been really enjoying this month, that have been getting me through this month, just as like a fun end of the video. No hard feelings if you're just here for the book content, but I figured why not share some other parts of my month. So first off, a music favorite for me has been Paul Simon. I adore Paul Simon. I think I've talked about him before on my channel, but specifically the album Still Crazy After All These Years is one of my favorites. I've been listening to it nonstop. It's just so good. It is like good background music. It's good like singing in the car music. It's one of my absolute favorites. And I think like different points in my life, I discover different Paul Simon albums that I really love and want to listen to. And this month it's been the Still Crazy After All These Years album. My TV favorite for January is The Crown. So Tyler and I have binge watched The Crown. We started at the beginning of January, and we are now almost at the end of season 4. Something you guys might not know about me is I am half British, and I have definitely been to the UK several times, but I don't know that much about the royal. And I find the like different dramas and things that I maybe had heard about but didn't know as much about to be really, really interesting. I think my favorite season, I really loved season 1 and 2. For those of you guys that haven't seen it, they changed casts between season 1 and 2 is one cast, and season 3 and 4 is a different cast. So I really love the season 1 and 2 cast. I love the 3 and 4 cast, but I'm still like a little partial. But yeah, it's all great. I really recommend it. It's a fantastic TV show. A couple of products that I have been enjoying. So as you guys will know, if you've been following my channel for a while, is I have very curly hair that I sometimes straighten for videos, but normally is very curly. And I go through different like shampoos and products, as I think many people with curly hair do, to find the perfect thing. And recently I've really been loving the shampoo conditioner by Giovanni. It's called Smooth as Silk, I think. And I have like a shampoo and then a leave-in conditioner, and I just love the way they smell. They're relatively inexpensive, with an asterisk, because I feel like all hair products are kind of ridiculously expensive, but on the spectrum of curly hair products, relatively inexpensive, and they work very, very well for my hair. And the last random little favorite, there's like 2 parts to it, is embroidery, which I have gotten a little bit into this month. I brought this embroidery kit where they teach you how to do all these different stitches. I got this on Etsy. I will link it down below if you guys are interested, but it has a little video where it like walks you through how to do all of these different things, which is really cool. Gilbert is in the bag where this was. And my other favorite this month has been crochet. I have been crocheting this blanket since college, and I will do like 1 row, and then I'll wait like 6 months, and then I'll do another couple rows, and then I'll wait 6 months. So it has a little ways to go, but I've really enjoyed just like listening to a podcast, listening to an audiobook, crocheting, like turning my brain off. I think that it's been a good way for me to just like relax this month. I got a crochet kit from Etsy to make a new like throw for my couch, so I might add in some clips of that into my upcoming vlogs. Let me know if any of you guys like to crochet, where you get your patterns or what you're working on right now. But yes, this has been a lot of fun this month. Alright guys, that is it for my January wrap up. This one was, hopefully next month will be better in terms of my reading ratings, but I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know what your favorite book of January was and what books you're looking forward to in the month of February in the comments down below, and I will see you guys very soon with another video. Bye.